Hello fellow YouTube
Prepare for battle.
Dota 2 players, this is iNsOmNiAcAnDrEw, and in this game I went up against Drow Ranger as Slark. Also I went up against Magnus, Disruptor, Assassin, Windrunner. I had as my allies Necrolite, Shadow Demon, Zeus, and Mirana. So I started off by heading toward the rune point, but Disruptor was already there, and I was actually a bit late. And I go here, and I'm just standing here like an idiot, and I get attacked by him. I'm like, well, I just better start attacking him. But I only actually hit him once with my Essence Shift because I hadn't already learned it before I started attacking him, so that was huge. So I basically did nothing, practically no damage to him. He could just tango it off, no problem. And I only have a Ring of Regen, and I'm like, ugh. So then over here we got Mirana and Templar facing off. And over here we got Necrolite and Shadow Demon facing off against Magnus and Windrunner.
Not this time.
Now what happens here, I try to get some last hits. It's really tough though, because they're getting Disruptors denying, and Drow Rangers taking last hits and denying. So, and Drow continues to harass me too, on top of getting her last hits and denies. So Disruptor's got like 4 denies, and Drow Ranger 10 last hits, and I'm like, forget this. I'm switching lanes with Mirana. And Mirana's like, okay, well, if you're gonna take over middle, I'm gonna go ahead and gank bottom since I got a little bit of a level advantage already. So she grabs double damage and heads over there. And this tree was eaten by Tango earlier. And now he makes copies of Magnus, which gets skewered away. I believe that's a bug, actually. You're not supposed to skewer illusions, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, Mirana chases him down with Leap and kills him. Now, so that was a pretty successful gank, and then now I'm actually less than 100 health, or I was a moment ago, due to Templar Assassin's harassment. But I'm still hanging in there. I'm not leeching experience from Zeus anymore. So both me and Zeus are getting full experience from our lanes, which is good. You know, apart from the minor amount of experience lost from when heroes deny creeps, but yeah. And then Mirana's keeping the pressure on down here, and pushing back Windrunner and Magnus. So we're basically got a tri-lane going on in here, which is pretty good actually, probably. Good idea, I mean. So now Templar Assassin is heading for the rune to go gank, and my tower got pushed really bad, so of course I called missing middle, but I also told him I didn't know where she was going. And apparently she went top, and ooh, she got glimpsed. Or Zeus did, I mean. And then Mirana goes over to take over. And these guys get chased around, and then they get shot at, and they get shot down, and then he defends the tower, basically, sort of, and chases them back, and then comes along and starts attacking these creeps. And over here we got that, and then over here there's this, and now I've only got a stout shield and the headdress. The headdress is because I wasn't sure. I was thinking I might get a pipe, but you're right. Any extra stats would help at this point. And I didn't know if anyone else would try to help me or not. Then it would help. So anyways, I warned that she's got a haste rune, and managed to pounce her, so we start dark pacting her, and his heal actually did not damage her, unfortunately. But he does use his ultimate on her, which stuns her. And that allows Mirana to follow up with another stun or starfall or whatever it was and kill her. So that's good. And then,
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
we had, me getting chased by her, but I knew that I would be able to get away if I just walk away, so I didn't expend any extra mana. And by now I got a Basilius and a Ring of Regen. So it looks like I'm working on a Vlad's. Sometimes you kind of need that Vlad's, you know, even before you get your boots. You're like, Slark, because watch, you could just pounce him. Right? You don't need boots to chase him down. Not with Slark anyway, not early on. So,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
definitely get it, you know, sooner or later, for sure. So as you can see, I had maxed out that pact, because that pact does multiple damage instances, which helps break a refraction. So keep that in mind. It also does deal damage to her, you know, even if she's just hiding, and it's not going to prevent any damage from just hiding from you.
Time is running out for Dire's middle tower.
So I gotta meet the courier and get an
Dire's
item.
middle tower.
And she's got a bottle, so and she's ganking with it, giving her additional regeneration. That's good for her. Killed Mirana, and then between her and Windrunner takes down Necrolite, and then Zeus finishes her off, and then I take down Windrunner. I came along to help out. Which is important. You want to do. You don't want to just let their middle just totally wreck them. Then I end up getting killed by Magnus. That was pretty interesting. There wasn't a whole lot I could do, really. Let's watch that. Yeah, that fence messed me up so bad, right? Okay, here I come. That pouncer. Bam!
You took the bait.
Okay, that was good. But what happens next? This Magnus is pretty good, man. Check it out. Okay. I'm over here. I'm gonna grab these creeps, right? But then, oh, I'm stuck. I walk over here, and then I couldn't fall back. And then he skewered me over here, and I die. So that was pretty embarrassing. But, yeah. Nice moves. That fence there is pretty good. And then, but Windrunner, she's got a Basilius ring. I don't really like that item on her. But she is in a lane with another ally that could use a regeneration, I guess. Of course, Magnus actually has a bottle and magic stick. So maybe it's not such a good item after all. But anyway, oh, that courier came really close to dying. Magnus and Disruptor, both their ultimates, take almost down two of them. But Mirana looks like she's just barely gonna get away. But then she doesn't. But then I'm there, and oh, I get slowed just before I pounce. And I'm not able to catch up to him and get him with my Dark Pact. I'm like, wow. So, but I didn't actually have boots yet. So that was a bit of a mistake, possibly, to actually try to get him. I didn't know I was going to get slowed right there. It was a really good timed slow by Windrunner. A lot of people actually forget different features of the Windrun ability. It was very useful. It actually was only 8% slow, but just because I didn't have my boots, it was just enough to keep me from getting them.
Rode you down.
Dire's top tower has been denied.
Now once you level it up though, it gets higher. And even if you do have boots, it still slows you. So, like I said, even if I had boots, it only would have countered, like, what, her level 1, maybe her level 2 slow. So that'd be pretty much it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Shadow Demon getting chased around. And here I am chasing down Templar Assassin. And I get stunned. I'm like, oh, I want to get her, so I'll pop my ultimate. And then I get skewered by Magnus. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess you're gonna get attacked from Magnus. And he uses his ultimate and starts attacking us. Then Zeus finishes him off. And then he buys back. So Magnus is really being pretty evasive. He's really using his skewer well, pushing us around. He's quite a meanie, a big bully, you could say, right? Anyways, so we're pushing this tower, and like, oh, someone's coming. I better jump away. And I was like, yeah, I'm jumping away too. And these guys start fighting back, and he gets stunned. And I come back without healing fully. I figure it's gonna be alright. And I take her down. And I come over here, so that way they can't see me and I can start regenerating. And Zeus starts fighting back. And then the fence activates and I can't quite get her, but it's okay because there's still Mirana. And then Mirana and Zeus keep fighting back. Mirana jumps after him. And all this time, Drow Ranger just has free reign at top. So she's got a Claymore, Treads, Wand, Wraith Band. But we eventually take down their tower. I make my way over here. Okay, now I got Power Treads and a couple of Gauntlets. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm really low on mana, so I don't really want to tangle with her right now. And then Necrolite comes over to top. And Drow Ranger pulls back and then heads back out again.
Regeneration.
Meanwhile, Mirana's carrying on at bottom, and so is Shadow Demon. And then, oh, Disruptor destroyed me. Let's see how that happened. I was over here meeting up the Guru, getting my urn. And then went over here. Oh, grab regen for my mana, that's good. Oh, I remember this, yeah. The, here I am with Zeus, and I pounce her and activate my Dark Pact, but I get a perfect trap by Disruptor. So he uses his ultimate just to get me. So anyways, yeah, pretty impressive. So now Disruptor's actually 5 kills and 0 deaths and 5 assists too, so he's doing very good. So from the looks of things, with a 0-4 Shadow Demon, well, he's got 4 assists too. Things could definitely be looking bad for us, but don't forget there's the, oh well, it was 0 a second ago. Let's go back. Drow Ranger had 0 assists. Like what, 18 minutes into the game? What's up with that anyway? Okay, so here she is. Meeting up the career. Blah, 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 blah. Now she has her Shadow Blade, right? Okay. So that's how come she has an assist. Because she was basically just farming up her fun item, right? And here she comes. And oh! So they stomp not just 1 but 2 heroes at once with that Magnus' ultimate, and that's great. Of course, I'm not really sure that Mirana would have gotten away without the ultimate, but yeah, probably not. I mean, she has her own ultimate, she could hide. Depends on... She'd probably get silenced, I guess. If she could dodge it, then maybe she'd be fine. Oh, we missed that sight right there.
Invisibility.
So here we are, basically pushing back top, and this guy teleports in, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to defend against this push, right? This is my lane, I'm not going to let my tower get destroyed, she says. The Templar Assassin comes along, and they start attacking Necrolite, But Zeus finishes her off, and then she runs away and hides. I'm all looking for her, and I don't see her. So he manages to survive, and we took her out, so that was pretty good up over here at top. So even though we got a couple guys down here, then we managed to win up here. And then Disruptor comes along, and then we... Oh. As you can see, Disruptor can't quite finish me. It was close, but not close enough. Let's just see how close. Disruptor's point of view. Come on. Rewind it more. It's not rewinding. They need to fix that interface there. Okay. So here's Disruptor. Level 3 Glimpse. Level 2 Ultimate. Okay, now he's Town Portaling. I'm not sure why. Okay, well anyway, here he is. So he's at top now. I thought he was already there, but anyway. I guess he was at middle. So actually he has no mana right now. So all he's got is his right clicks. Yeah, he didn't go into that fight with full mana, did he? Or he lost it all right away. Yeah, he's got 2 Town Portal Scrolls. And he's standing next to her trap. And he doesn't even have 400 mana. And he's Town Portal Scrolling. Yeah, I feel like that was a mistake. He could have fought a lot harder. So he comes along. He uses his wombo combo of his fence and his ultimate, and then he uses his thunderbolt, and then that's all he's got. He doesn't have mana for a glimpse. He doesn't have mana for a mechanism. He could have saved Windrunner maybe, at least temporarily, with the mechanism, but he didn't have the mana for it. So that was his first mistake, unfortunately. And everybody makes them, but yeah, you want to make sure you don't make him too much. He actually doesn't have any real percentage regeneration to his mana, like a Sage's Mask or Voidstone. If he did, that would have made a world of difference. But anyways, and Shadow Demons placing wards, and then Drow Rangers pushing middle with her team. Magnus is there. And I jump on Magnus, but then he jumps away with Skewer, and we get trapped by ultimate and fence combination. That's nasty, and I pull back. Mirana gets stuck and destroyed. And then Zeus finishes off Magnus, because he had barely escaped his Skewer, right? And that's actually buggy, not supposed to be able to jump out of it, the pounce, that ability. But anyway, so we get hit by the ultimate with Zeus and Necrolite Blue, and they get totally destroyed. All that AoE damage. And I do have a little mana from Shadow Demon, so let's go in there and fight. But it's definitely not enough. There's 5 of them. Magnus had bought back. If it wasn't for the buyback, I probably would have had a chance at killing 2, maybe even 3 of them. Especially since this one had fallen back. But, nah, Magnus just proved to be too much for us. Because, you know, he's one more AoE user, you know, between him and Disruptor and Templar. That's a lot of AoE, and then she's AoE too, so even if I'm invisible, I'm still taking damage from their area of effect spells. So that was a pretty big mistake on my part. But then Mirana hits a nice arrow, and then just about when the duration's probably ending, he makes some copies of Magnus. Magnus skewers away. Once again,
Radiant's top
I
tower
don't think he's
is under
supposed to be
attack.
obscuring illusions away with him. But anyways, Templar grabs the haste rune, and she's got a bottle, and then she's working on, a dagger, and she's working on a desolator probably, or a Black King bar. So the courier's bringing that. And how's everyone else doing? I've got Vlad's eye, the treads, and I was able to take down the Windrunner. And that was in a chase actually with Windrunner and Drow Ranger. Yeah, check this out. Here she is in our jungle. They have a ward there, so they saw us jungling. And Zeus chases her down, but she runs that way and she runs that way. And I head her off, hoping to get both of them maybe. But they split up, and then she popped her Skulltown portal apparently. That's what got her back to here. And now she's got a Crystallis Skulls. Bought that. And now Disruptor's headed out to defend that top, because that's getting pushed back. So I was telling my allies at this point, you know what, although we're having a tough time dealing with Drow Ranger,
I can trust you guys.
Their teamwork is a bit lacking because of the Shadow Blade, because if Windrunner had run back the way Drow Ranger did, then maybe we wouldn't have gotten either one of them. But I saw Windrunner go this way, so I went for her. And Drow basically used Windrunner as a way to get away. Windrunner was the bait in order to let Drow Ranger get away. And at this point, I'm really getting frustrated with Drow Ranger. Because I'm just trying to take down her team, and she's all defending them, and I'm like, no, I don't like that, because she pops up out of nowhere with her Shadow Blade, and then this guy gets stuck in that wombo combo, and then Shadow Demon is able to escape through Mirana's ultimate. And I tell my allies, you know what, I've had enough of her, I'm gonna get one of those Shadow Blades too. Maybe you guys should get one also.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So she's walking. She's not invisible 24/7.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So I was thinking I could walk around, but I didn't know if I wanted to. So once that guy got hit with Mirana's arrow, I was like, yeah, let's take it. That arrow was like, wow. We took out 3 guys with that fight, with that arrow. So that was really good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So I go ahead and push lane, and everyone else is like gonna go defend bottom.
Your hopes fade tonight.
%100% evasion, gotta love it. Uh-oh. That's not good.
Death with honor.
The creeps were able to provide vision for him to easily glimpse her, because they were chasing her. That's a bit unfortunate. And then, we had Drow Ranger coming to middle, up against Shadow Demon. Probably not the most fair fight. Right, Shadow Demon? All you got is arcane boots. Ah, he's silenced! Ah!
Lanes are lined with the likes of you.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this. There's a fence, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm out of here. So then, we have Pink invading our jungle. Magnus, and he's got a blink dagger. And despite the early dominance that Disruptor had, he's not doing so hot now. And then we're able to make us jump on Templar. What was that all about? Was she trying to take our jungle creeps? That seems rather cocky. What's she doing exactly? She had an illusion rune. Yeah, she's just walking into... Oh, you know what? It's because of that Shadow Blade. So, and then Zeus helped me take her out, of course. Now these guys are over here. And we're over there. Mirana starts shooting arrows at Magnus. And then Magnus skewers that guy, and they're like, oh, let's get this guy, he's squishy. And then we can worry about everyone else after that. And I grab Drow Ranger, and then we get ultimated, and then she gets ultimated, and then I jumped away, I guess. What did I do? I don't even know. And then Zeus finishes that person off. Yeah, I didn't even remember what happened. It was crazy. It's so hard to tell.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So I see her and I go after her, and she uses her Invis, but then Mirana uses Dust. So he uses ulti on, and then she starts right clicking and stuff. And then I'm like over here. Oh, Mirana used her ultimate. That. Well, anyway, it's hard to see everything or what happened, but it was weird. And might have to rewind that yourself. And she uses focus fire on the tower.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Teleports back to base. And I have to wonder that she doesn't seem to find any items in particular to do a lot of damage. There was a game I'd like to play against the players again because they were really good, but I'm not sure playing with randoms will work out. And then Magnus just comes out of nowhere with his blink dagger. At least that's how it seemed. It was probably from over here, so. And then I'm still able to get away, though. It was kind of a close call, perhaps, sort of. And these guys take down Roshan quite easily. The empowered Drow Ranger. Remember that empowered ability on Magnus? That's what I was talking about. We had such an easy time one game. We just used that on the Drow Ranger, and wow. 50% extra damage. That's just crazy on her. And you can empower other people too, like Templar Assassin and himself, or Windrunner, even Disruptor if he felt like it. So very nice. Of course, it's generally best on melee, but it could still be very good on ranged. Because the melee also get cleave. So at this point, I'd been telling him, you know, stop buying wards. Let somebody else buy some wards. So I bought a pack and asked somebody else to buy a pack too. So I placed one over here. This was one of his. See? And eventually I placed another one over here. So they're pushing bottom. Because, you know, he's dying a lot and he needs more health. Yeah, he's down to 9 deaths. Or he's up to 9 deaths, I mean. So, yeah. And he gets glimpsed over there, and then he makes copies of himself. And taunts and use Dark Pact, and Zeus starts zapping people. And wow, that really hurt, didn't it? And then that guy starts running away. I start to chase him, but then she revives, and Necrolite uses his dust, and I get her, and he's running away from Mirana. 14 seconds to skewer, 7 seconds to leap, so she might just get him. Although he has a dagger too, so there's still that. She has to keep canceling it. But, oh, he can use it right now. But does he? For some reason he's not using it. So anyways, and then the courier comes and gives him an item. And now he blinks away. So I'm not sure what he was doing, not actually blinking away when he could have, but it was probably that he was distracted by the courier and maybe just hadn't realized that Mirana was still chasing him. That, or maybe he was fumbling with the hotkey for the item.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Anyway, so we take down the tower, since a lot of them have been down, and we're like, well, now that Magnus is back, let's go ahead and get out of here. So we take their jungle, while they're concerned about pushing back middle. I feel like this might have been a mistake for theirs to group up like this. And the interesting thing is, our ranger is way back here. So Shinachi's up here by herself. They're not showing much teamwork, basically. What is she doing, trying to win the game by herself? Everyone else is grouped up and worried about losing team fights. Why is she think she's better than everyone else? So here she goes and try to make a kill on Mirana solo. Mirana uses dust on her. I start attacking her. Ooh, looks like I got a bash in. And she's toast. Yep, I've got a basher now. I have 14 charges on my urn. And Templar Assassin comes along. And I'm binder. And then there's that ultimate by that guy, and I'm like, I don't want to get caught in that ultimate. I'm gonna go get him. And she runs away, and then she tries, but Necrolite gets her. But she manages to get away.
Dire's top tower is under
Should we
attack.
push guys? Oh, we got
Dire's
this
top
guy
tower
pushing
has
middle. And, Mirana actually managed to die. So that's unfortunate. It was apparently just before Necrolite killed
Dire's
Templar
top
Assassin.
tower is under attack.
I'm thinking the Mirana maybe didn't retreat after I'd saved her. Let's watch that again, I guess. Her point of view. Oh, no, she's stuck. No, she gets away. Okay. No. Mirana's here. Where the runner is. Ah, she shoots the arrow and hits. So that helped us take down Disruptor. But somehow she got caught in a power shot, I guess. So that's a bit unfortunate for her. Whoa, that rewound it way too far. Yeah, she just jumped right into the ultimate or whatever, in the power shot. Pretty simple. Just rewind it yourself if you like, whatever. Anyway, so and I tell her to play the Shadow Blade game Drow. And that's how it goes. You know, when you're a support like that, yeah, you don't want to keep on dying large. Look, he's managing to survive. But we're kind of fighting without him right now. That's fine. And this was like the funniest part. Everyone survived it. I mean, everyone got slaughtered on their team with just 3 of us. There was only 3 of us that fought them just then. But the only one on our team that survived was Zeus. So he was left to Rax the enemy. Which is just funny because he was the worst right clicker of the 3 of us. But his spells were good. Anyways, yeah.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
And Magnus is like, I'm not letting you get away. There's Windrunner. Shadow Demon comes along, he's like, well, I'm gonna fight too. I'll step up. It's in this game. I tell my allies, no, I don't think it's a good idea to keep the pressure on right now. We already did a lot of damage. Let's relax and take it easy. Let's play it safe. Let's not lose our well-earned advantage. So I had 6,000 gold at this point, so I'm like, well, I guess that means I get a butterfly then. And I still got the urn, 16 charges now. Mirana's hurt badly and no mana. Our assassin has copies that made of her. I get stuck in the fence. Mirana runs that way, Disruptor runs that way, and Drow Ranger comes along. So they're kind of all over the place. This guy's over here without much mana. Drow Ranger's late to the party. And Templar's just standing here, not really sure where she should go. So their teamwork's just really lacking, unfortunately. So, and that's kind of what happens sometimes when you get that Shadow Blade. So I don't, although it's a good item, it's, if a player is buying it because they're too concerned about their own hero surviving, they're not going to try hard enough to help their allies. So that's what I don't like about the Shadow Blade. Oh, and there was a gem there, actually. What happened to it? I thought that was a gem. My eyes deceiving me. But anyways, yeah, no, the Disruptor has a gem. It doesn't matter. I've got Butterfly, Basher, Blast, Treads, Shadow Blade, It's too late for that. Maybe if Drow bought a gem a long time ago and focused on me, instead of picking on poor little Shadow Demon, she would have won. I started killing Templar Assassin. I had traded lanes with Mirana, and and wrecked her lane, forcing her to gank, and she wasn't able to gank very well. Well, she was actually doing pretty good in lane, but she started ganking when she maybe didn't need to, and then that one gank really set things off because I was able to get a lot of gold.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
But I thought I typed something else here, but I guess it was just the allies. Maybe not. A lot of people are saying good game, well played. Okay, I say well played, Radiant. And then, I say you guys weren't half bad either. Of course, Necrolite had a blade mill, so that's why I said that. Yeah, I mean, if you have a Bloodstone, it could be a good option to go with it, sure. But I would actually like a heart, it just has even more health. But whatever works. Whatever works, guys. Well, and Shadowblade, it works. It's been buffed so much in this meta, I really like it. It even works on Slark, so have fun with that, guys.